Hello, my lovely friends. It's nice to see you again. For those of you who haven't met me, I'm Alana. I'm 22 years old, and I have recurrent major depressive disorder. I learned recently that a 2016 poll done by the American Psychological Association showed that 8 out of 10 people experience increased levels of stress over the holidays. So with Hanukkah and Christmas overlapping this year and New Year's following right behind, I thought it would be a great time to talk about holiday stress and what you can do to manage it this somewhat difficult time of year. So let's get right into it. Oh, before we get right into it, I crack myself up. All right. Before we get right into it, I want to mention that there is a crisis hotline near you, that there is an emergency room or a 911 operator available to help you, and that you are needed and wanted in this earth. So please, if you are in crisis or struggling, please ask for help. So what can you do to manage your own feelings this holiday season? The first thing you can do is acknowledge your feelings and recognize that how you feel right now is totally normal, it's totally valid, and it's totally okay. Okay? So be sure and be honest with those who love and support you. Tell them how you're feeling. You're not going to bring the holidays down. You're not going to stop people from having fun. Just tell people how you're feeling. Share how you're feeling. And I'm sure they'll be a lot more understanding than you expect them to be. Budget. And stick to your budget. I decided this year that I was only going to spend a certain amount on gifts. And so I discussed with a large amount of people not giving gifts to each other at all. So what we did is, I would go up to them and say, hey, I don't have any money. Let's not do gifts this year. You and me. You don't give me anything and I won't give you anything. Okay? Good talk. Plan ahead. So maybe you are the type of person who likes to do things in advance. Give yourself time to do that. Some time so that you can make things in advance or do things in advance, whatever you need to do. And planning ahead doesn't necessarily mean that you need to be doing things in advance. Maybe it means you need to be reminding people to do things in advance. My mom and I both really like to do potlucks. So we like to invite a bunch of people over and entertain, and everybody brings some kind of dish. And so that way no one is overwhelmed with doing the whole dinner by themselves. And no one has to pay for the whole dinner by themselves. And that way, we all share, we all BYOB for drinks, but we share the food, and it works very well for us. So that's something you can do to plan it ahead, is plan a potluck, rather than plan ahead in terms of do everything yourself. Plan ahead by inviting people over and inviting them to bring food. Breathe and take alone time. Oh my goodness, these are so important. If you don't take alone time, sometimes I get overwhelmed while people are in my house. And so I just tell them, hey, I'm going to take a walk. I'm going to take a breather. Leave me alone for a minute. And I walk away. And I leave them to entertain themselves because they are adults who can handle themselves. Like, if they can be alone in their own houses, they can be alone with each other in mine. Okay? One thing you can do to take alone time that I like to do is plan like a walk or something during daylight hours, some time outside during daylight. And that way I get vitamin D, I get exercise, and I get alone time. So it's like a triple whammy. Makes me feel much better every single time I do it. Say no. Okay? The holiday is not all about giving gifts. The holiday is not all about doing as much as you can for everyone else. It is so important to say no and stand up for yourself and make sure that people aren't pushing you over your limits. Another thing that's super important is to be kind and understanding. Remember at the beginning of the video when I said it's 8 out of 10 people? That means that if there's 10 people at your house, that probably 8 of them are struggling with some kind of undue stress this holiday season. And it would serve them and you to be kind to one another and just be gentle and calm and nice. There's nothing wrong with that. I don't know why people think they have to be so mean to each other these days. Just be nice. Just be nice. Exercise. It is so important to get enough exercise, especially during the winter time. With seasonal affective disorder and stuff like holiday stress, one of the biggest things you can do for yourself is get vitamin D and exercise. AKA, exercise outdoors during the daytime. That's all you have to do. Really. In my opinion. And also when I say exercise, please remember, you don't have to go for a run or do 2 hours of cardio or train for a marathon. Like, you don't have to do anything absurd or time consuming or difficult. You really just have to get moving. Okay? So maybe you have little kids, maybe you need a break with them, so throw a dance party. My mom used to throw dance parties for me and my brother all the time, and she did it because she needed exercise and time to herself. And sometimes she would join us and sometimes she wouldn't, and no matter what happened, it always worked out. And it kept us busy, it kept her busy, and it was good for all of us. Choose your battles. This is the biggest one, in my opinion. To choose your battles or even set them aside altogether. So maybe your family is super conservative and you're super not. Maybe someone wants to pray before dinner and you really don't. All you have to do is just close your eyes. If they want to hold hands with you, hold hands and close your eyes. You don't have to pray to someone that you don't believe in. Or maybe you do and you want to pray and that's valid. You know, it is really up to you what you choose to do. And I think one of those things that you should be choosing to do is pick your battles. Now, I am not saying, for the record, I am not saying that if your family is purposefully misgendering you or you're vegetarian and they're telling you, well, the holiday just wouldn't be the same if you didn't eat meat. You know, don't let them bully you into submission. You know, stand up for yourself and you deserve to get treated like a person. But also don't be afraid to let little things slide. You know, so for instance, a couple years ago, someone called me fat. And I was like, okay. Oh well. You know. Moving forward, that same year, someone called my girlfriend my friend. And I said, nope, she's my girlfriend. And they were like, oh, well, I wasn't sure. I was like, yes, you were. She's my girlfriend. I've told you this before. She's my girlfriend. And we're not together anymore. But that was an inappropriate, over the line kind of moment. And that was a good moment for me to stand up for myself. Let's see, what are some other good examples? If you need alone time and people aren't respecting that, or if you need to share your feelings with someone and people aren't respecting that, it is a perfectly valid moment. That is a perfectly valid moment to share the fact that you don't feel like they're being kind or appropriate. You know, so I do think it's important to choose your battles, because the little ones, if you get all nitpicky about the little ones, then you're not going to be able to get all nitpicky about the big ones. And you're going to have a difficult time. But I do think it's important to stand up for yourself sometimes, and that's why I say choose your battles. Don't just try to stand up for yourself all the time. So, my lovely friends, that's pretty much all I have for now. I would really appreciate if you would comment and subscribe, like this video, all that good stuff that gets me noticed by YouTube. I love when you guys comment on my videos. My cousin shared a gorgeous story in the comments section, and I just loved that he was so willing to share with me and with everyone else. If you don't want to do that, feel free to message or text me if you know me. Or just comment. I love getting comments on my videos. Okay? Okay. All right, my lovely friends. Well, I will see you one more time in 2019. And I'm not sure what we're going to talk about yet, but we'll think of something. Mwah.